Are you ready to sew on a budget? Today I'm taking you to the Dollar Tree to show you items that you can use as fabric and supplies for your sewing projects. The craft section is always getting new items, and I never leave the store without a few new fat quarters. But in this video, I'm going to take you out of the craft section and show you some fabric sources you might not have thought of. I hope these ideas spark some creativity and keep you on your budget. These tips and projects are quick, easy, and budget friendly, so let's dump this out and see what's inside. First up, let's talk about the fabrics you can find at the dollar store. Obviously, they have fat quarters of flannel and cotton, and I think these are great quality, especially for the price you pay. They are always getting new designs, and so I always grab a few of these. They're fun and simple to use and grab. Outside of the fabric section, I love to use these fleece baby blankets. They are small, just like a good small piece of fleece that you can grab, and they're super cheap. I have always loved doilies, and they have super jumbo doilies. These are in the kitchen section. They are used as kind of like placemats for place settings, for table settings. And I have some projects coming up with these, so I'm excited about these doilies. I think they are gonna be some really fun accents to sewing projects. And while you're in the kitchen section, they have these little placemats that will make really cute clutches. They're not super great quality fabric, but I think they're wipeable, so that could be a fun, easy way to make a bag. And the last one I'm gonna share today is this is a rug from the home section. I think it's in the home decor section, and I love the texture and feel of this, and I'm excited to make a bag with it. And then there's another fabric source in the projects in this video, so be on the lookout for that as you watch the next segment. First up, I'm going to show you how to make a tag blanket with supplies from the Dollar Tree. Tag blankets are great for babies and toddlers. They're kind of a sensory toy with different textures of ribbons and fabrics that will keep them busy and learning. For this project, you will need a cotton fat quarter. You can use flannel or quilter's cotton. I'm going to use this unicorn one. We're going to use a fleece baby blanket for the back, and then grab a few ribbons. It's fun to have a variety of ribbons for this project. We're also going to use lightweight fusible interfacing. We're going to use this to stabilize the fleece. So our first step is to grab a piece of interfacing and fuse it to the back of the fleece. You just want this to be at least big enough for the pattern piece, which is 10 inches by 10 inches. Then cut out a layer from your interfaced fleece and one layer from your fabric. These are 10 by 10, or you can use the pattern download that's available in the description below. Now grab your ribbons, and we're going to cut pieces of ribbon into different lengths from 3 inches to 5 inches. We are going to put 5 ribbons on each side of this blanket, so we need a total of 20. I have 5 different ribbons, so I am cutting 4 of each. Now fold the ribbons in half and pin them as loops onto the front of the fabric with 5 on each side. You can space these however you want, just don't get them too close to the corner since we need to sew that corner, and we don't want the ribbon to fall off of the project once we turn it right side out. When you have all 20 ribbons pinned on, baste around the fabric to secure the ribbons in place. Then remove all the pins. To assemble the tag blanket, place your fleece face down on top of the front fabric with all the ribbons enclosed inside. Pin the corners and stick a few pins in there to keep it together, and then we're going to sew around the edges with a 3/8 inch seam allowance, leaving a little opening about 1.5 to 2 inches. Remove all your pins and then clip the corners and trim the ribbon ends, and then you can turn this right side out. Use a turning tool to get the corners pushed out, and then press this well. When you press, you can also pin that opening shut. And our last step is to top stitch around the top of the fabric, closing the opening as you go. And then your tag blanket is done and it is ready for a toddler or baby to play with. Next, we're going to use a 6th fabric source to make a hooded towel using towels from the bath section. We're going to need 2 towels for this project. You can use a seasonal towel or just regular towels, and then the printable pattern that you can find in the description below. So we're going to use 2 towels for this, but we're only going to use a little bit of the second towel. So if you are wanting to make more than one of these, you don't necessarily need 2 towels for each project. So open up your towel, and then we're going to place the pattern piece on the edge and at the corner. That way we have 2 finished edges at the bottom and the front of the hood. and so we won't have to finish those edges. So pin that in place and cut out 2 hood pieces from 2 different corners. For the second hood piece, flip your pattern piece upside down so that we get the mirror image version of the hood piece. Now that you have 2 hood pieces, we're going to place them together, right sides together, and pin along the curved edge. Now sew around the curved edge with a straight stitch 3/8 inch from the raw edges, and then go over the seam allowance with a zigzag stitch. Turn that right side out and then grab your other towel and find the middle point on one of the long edges. And I just like to mark that with a pin. Pin the hood with right sides together in the middle of the towel using your pin and the middle of the hood to match up those midpoints. Then sew the hood on with a zigzag stitch. Make sure you backstitch at the ends of your stitching line, and then your hooded towel is ready to be used for bath time and pool time. Next, I'm going to show you how to make a Kindle cover, and this has a secret inside, a microfiber cloth that will keep it clean. For this tablet cover, you can download the pattern piece from my website. The link is in the description below. We're going to need a fat quarter of cotton cloth that you can find at the dollar store, and then microfiber cloth. We're going to line it with this, and this way it'll keep our screen super clean every time we put it away. I found the microfiber in the auto section of the dollar store. And then we're also going to need lightweight fusible interfacing. Let's get started by fusing the interfacing to the back of the cotton fabric. Use the pattern piece to cut 2 layers from the fabric and 2 layers from the microfiber. If you prefer to use measurements instead of the pattern piece, you can pause the screen now. The measurement is 8.5 inches by 6.25 inches. And this is designed to fit a Kindle Paperwhite that's about 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches, and it will fit other tablets about the same size too. After you've done that, we're gonna sew 1 piece of cotton fabric to 1 piece of microfiber with the right sides together, sewing along the top edge with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Repeat with the second piece so you have 2 of these. Open them up and press the seam allowance toward the cotton fabric. And then we're going to top stitch along that cotton about 1/8 of an inch from the seam. This top stitching will help keep our Kindle cover aligned correctly with the microfiber lining inside. Place the 2 pieces together with right sides together, matching the cotton on the cotton side and the microfiber on the microfiber side. Pin all the way around and sew the edges, pivoting at the corners and leaving 1 to 2 inches open in the microfiber lining. You can use a zigzag stitch on the microfiber to prevent stretching as you're sewing. Clip the corners before you turn this, and then turn right side out through your opening. Press well and then stitch the opening closed. Then you can push the lining inside your tablet sleeve. Give that a final press, and then you're ready to slip in your Kindle or tablet. Thanks for sewing with me today. For more Dollar Tree sewing hacks, click the video above.